Hey, welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about Father's Day and how Father's Day doesn't mean jack.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about Father's Day and how Father's Day doesn't mean jack. What do you mean Father's Day doesn't mean jack, Ryan? Father's Day is a celebration of fathers and their role in their children's lives. So I'm going to spit out some statistics off the top of my head. As you guys know, I read a lot and know a lot, but divorce rates are over 50% in this country and have been for some time, and I think they're pushing 60%. There is a movement towards non-marriage in our youth today, as they don't think it's important. So if they don't want to be committed to each other, there's a strong chance that when things go south or there are some challenges in that relationship, mom and dad split up. And even without the divorce rates, just the rate of fathers being fully present in their kids' life is going to greatly diminish with a lack of commitment to each other when it comes to making children in this world. When you look at statistics of fatherless kids, there's a 20 times greater chance of those kids being incarcerated. 98% of the inmates actually don't have a relationship with their father. When you look at from a female perspective, women who crave the desire of a love of a man when they don't have a father in their life are 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teenager. It's an epidemic in this country that dads just aren't showing up for various reasons, and a lot of times they don't know how. And that's why I wrote the book Be the Dad You Wish You Had, because it's kind of a how-to and things you could do to really connect with your children from an early age, and hopefully that strong foundation can propel you forward through some of the storms of parenthood and really connect to your child. And hopefully, men out there, your significant other, and ladies out there, your significant other, kids need a dual parent system, and there needs to be respect in that dual parent system. You don't need to like each other. You don't even need to love each other. You need to respect each other. So Father's Day, I said it doesn't mean jack. See, I grew up without a father in my life. Age 5, for those of you who don't know the story, I was abandoned by my father, was raised by my mother, and never really thought much about not having a dad around. It was just a way of life for me. But it didn't go without having some of its negative repercussions. It didn't go without a lot of self-doubt. It didn't go without the challenges of how do I do certain things in this world as a man without having a role model of a man? And me, thankfully, I was somewhat conscious, and I looked at good men, not bad, and I said, how do I take some of what that person has and become better? But so many young men do the opposite. They want to go after what looks cool, and a lot of times what looks cool is not serving us at a high level. So Father's Day for me, I really think they strategically, and I don't know when Father's Day and Mother's Day originated, but I believe it was a point where whoever decided on this within the last 100 years, well, we'll do Father's Day in the middle of summer. You want to know why? You want to know why I know? Because I always knew about Mother's Day, because I was always creating something in school for my mom to take home to give her. Because we are taught in society to love on mom, because mom 99% of the time is the one, probably even way more than that, 99.99% of the time is the one taking care of the children in the absence of dad for whatever reason. Maybe they're more nurturing. Maybe society believes that a child needs its mother more than it needs its father. Dad is always out working, so mom would be home. I don't know what the societal norms were back then to make them decide that mothers were way more important. But I think we've all adapted to the fact that kids need their moms more than they need their dads. And that's why the court system plays in favor of the mom 95% of the time. Has to be like horrible scenario that mom has in order for dad to get full custody. And because of all this, I think they created Father's Day in the middle of summer for a reason. See, I never knew when Father's Day was. I never had to make my absent father, they never had to make the kids feel bad for not having a dad around. Right? If for those of us who didn't have a father around or didn't have a strong relationship with dad, we didn't have to make a painting or draw a picture for dad at school. And therefore, Father's Day doesn't mean jack to me. As a matter of fact, when I became a father myself, my wife asked me right after Mother's Day, hey, what do you want to do for Father's Day? I said, when is Father's Day? She says, what do you mean, when is Father's Day? It's next month. I said, well, why would I know when Father's Day is? She goes, you're a father. I said, yeah, but I've never celebrated it because I didn't have one in my life. And there was a little light bulb, I think, went off in my wife's mind. And she goes, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do what I want to do every day. As far as I'm concerned, listen to this. Father's Day is every day for me. Because I show up every day. And all I want to do each and every day is spend time with my kids. And I want them, more importantly than me spending time with them, I want them to want to spend time with me. And that's what Father's Day represents for me, is an opportunity to spend yet a little bit more time with my kids. So Father's Day is this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you dads who are highly involved. Happy Father's Day to you dads who want to be highly involved and for whatever reason are unable to. Happy Father's Day to those dads who have kids and have made some mistakes and are having a really hard time trying to find out the right way to reconnect with your children. And it could be 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, or 6 decades since you've spoken to your kids. I don't know. But I know every father didn't go into parenthood and said, hey, I'm going to screw this thing up. I'm going to have a broken relationship with my kid. And my heart goes out to you because I can only imagine what it feels like to want to connect and not know the right words, or to reconnect, or using the words and fearing huge rejection from your own child. And how do I know this? Because I talk to a lot of dads. Just talked to a good friend of mine the other day. I said, how's your son doing? He says, I don't really know. He has an adult son in his 30s. This man just turned 35, or 65, sorry. He had his son when he was 35, the same time I had mine. And he says, he called me for my birthday. I said, hey, please don't do this to me again. You fall off the face of the earth. I can't get a hold of you. And his son said, hey, just text me or email me. It's the best way to get in touch with me. And he says he's done that multiple times and his son's just not there. The challenge with that is he wasn't there for his son growing up. And his son doesn't know how to connect to his dad, and his dad doesn't know how to connect to his son other than saying, don't disappear. And if you listen to my last episode where I talk about, using negative terminology, don't disappear, instead of, could you please stay in touch? Same message, 2 totally different ways of approaching it, terminology-wise. And some people don't want to deal in the negative, and I don't know his son well enough to gauge on this, but don't disappear. You're telling them what not to do, but please stay in touch. I worry about you. I love you. I miss you. And I know I wasn't always there for you, but as an adult, I know you may not want this, but I would love to have a relationship with you, and I don't know how to go about it. Could you please guide me? Those are some powerful words. But it's don't disappear. You're kind of telling your kid not to do exactly what you did. And that same child may be saying, Dad, you disappeared my whole childhood. Don't tell them what not to do. Tell them what you would like from them, or ask them what you would like from them. It's leadership 101. But when you haven't led as a dad, you could have trouble doing that. So Father's Day, as I shopped for Father's Day cards myself, here's the other thing about Father's Day. For your dads out there, or for you men out there who have broken relationships with your fathers, I'm going to encourage you to pick up a Father's Day card for a man who positively influenced you in your life, although he may not be your father. He is someone who impacted you in a positive way, that is a male role model, and he played father figure to you with that guidance. I encourage you to pick up a card for that person, because although I will send my father every year something during Father's Day, even though I get no response, I encourage you to let somebody know that impacted you in a positive way, that they impacted you, and wish them a happy Father's Day, whether they have kids or not, because they acted that way for you. So it may not mean jack to you, but it may mean the world to somebody else to know that they impacted you in a positive way. So that's my encouragement for you on this Father's Day. For those of you who have an amazing relationship with your dad, don't be like, oh, Dad knows how I feel. Pour into Dad. Because as men and ladies out there, you have some amazing fathers in your lives also. And as you can think of some men who positively impacted you, as you think of some men who gave you some words of wisdom, as you came across a good man who maybe you were in a vulnerable time and somebody just poured into you for who you were and made you feel like a lady, thank that person. Thank those men who made you feel like a lady. Because you're all beautiful souls. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who take advantage of those beautiful souls in their vulnerable moments. And a lot of times, women that grew up without dads don't understand how to receive love from a man, and they go down a path that they may regret down the road. So, and they don't even know it. It's not their fault. They only know what they were taught. Father's Day doesn't mean jack to a lot of people. It didn't mean jack to me for the longest time, but it means everything to me today, simply because I have two amazing little boys. And I have chosen, and I believe I have succeeded in breaking the cycle in my family of men who are not engaged with their children. And if I break it for this generation and show them what it is like to be present with them, to be fully in love with them, to be fully engaged with them, and teaching them and being harsh with them at times, right? What people today would consider harsh is I call creating boundaries so that they could have respect for the things in their life. As I do that and I go through that process, when my children have children, they will be doing some of those same things for the next generation. They will work out and work through difficulties in their marriages. They will discipline with love and boundaries. They will do things, and they will celebrate, and they will be celebrated on Father's Day, because their children, my grandchildren, wow, that's crazy to think of that, will know, not think, know how much they're loved. And my goal, and I should say it every episode, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this is in my heart of hearts. My goal is to have the respect of my adult children. And no thing or no fling will ever come between that. So no thing, nothing will come between that for me. No fling, momentary lapse of judgment to disrespect their mother will happen, because I'm not working and building young men so that they could look at me and say, whoa, Dad's going to make enough mistakes, right? Dad's going to make enough mistakes. I'm not perfect. But the ones in my complete control, because I have a goal, the respect of my adult children, and no thing or no fling will get in the way of that. That's pretty clear. So happy Father's Day to you guys. For the longest time, it didn't mean jack. But today, it means everything. Go celebrate the fathers in your life, or the father figures in your life this Father's Day. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.